I don't know whether you have seen this about Felix, somebody, an Italian family person who, Felix spent many years in Belgium.
He was a taxi driver, I
He
heard.
was a taxi driver. He was many things of that kind, but even with a very bad reputation. The man who employed him, an Italian family, an old man now, who employed him, he was delivering. The man has a shop, a pizza shop, and Felix used to deliver. So when this old man heard that Felix had become president, he said, "Oh my God." He said, "This one." Then he told the story. It was even written. I hope you can
What was he
show
doing?
it.
What was the story?
It was like this guy who could not even do the job of delivering pizza.
When was the last time you spoke privately, if you can share with us, to President Felix?
This must have been 2021.
Oh, wow, it's been a long time.
22? 22.
A very long time.
22.
Oh, so you haven't spoken to him recently?
Yeah, actually, I think September 22.
Are you open to speak to him again?
I'm not opposed to speaking to him, but we have to be saying things that matter to the two countries and that are geared towards addressing the problems. I have no problem. But making deals with Tshisekedi is...
Making deals with what?
With Tshisekedi, with Felix?
It's very difficult.
Is the most difficult thing. The most, I am just challenging anybody. I want to see anybody who has made a deal with him and who would say, you are telling lies. I would want to see that. On the contrary, I have dealt with him. I know. You say you agree something, just as he steps out the door.
So it's an issue of leadership.
Out of the room. It's completely either forgotten, changed, or some we will say, no, we didn't say that.
So it's an issue of leadership.
Yes.
Well, we've tackled a lot of topics. I think the story of how you've rebuilt a country from scratch or below scratch is, a perfect symbol of hope for other African countries. Now, I hope Congo, Sudan, other countries go down a similar path, because I know the atrocities that are going on there. I also hope the world starts to pay attention to what's happening in Africa. Similar things, if 10% of what's happening in Africa happens in some Asian countries are similar, but in Asia or Europe or the US or Latin America, it'll be all over the news. Literally, your team told me yesterday there's dead bodies being burnt and eaten in Congo on a regular basis. I didn't know these things still exist. I thought those are ended 10, 20, 30 years ago.
They happen.
It's heartbreaking. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate being as open as you have been. And I hope, if we meet again, it'll be under different circumstances. And I hope that, even though that hope looks slim, that we see peace in Congo and long-lasting peace.
We really want peace. We want peace in Congo because it translates into peace for us. And so that we continue rebuilding our small country, and that has had enough of suffering, more than enough. We can't be the ones who are looking for any trouble to take us back to those days.
If you were sitting, last question I want to end it with, if you were sitting privately with President Felix right now, what would you tell him?
I would tell him I wish he wasn't president of that good country.
Okay. For Mr. President, I really appreciate it.
Actually, I'm likely to, when next time I meet him, I will tell him that.
That person.
I promise, in person, directly.
I hope he changes. Like, if what you're saying is true, I hope he changes. I hope he becomes a bit more diplomatic.
It's terrible.
It's better for his country. It's better for him. It's better for peace. Is better for him. Remember the president. Joseph, Francis Kabila was shot by his bodyguard. Like, war is not good for anybody.
The father was called Laurent Kabila, And then the father is, the son is Joseph.
Joseph, yeah. Oh, Laurent Kabila is the one that was shot.
Is the
I
father.
thought it was Francis, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So war is bad for everybody. So